Welcome to Creepin Real. I am Judah. Let's talk about the 1989 sci-fi horror directed by Robert Dyke, starring Chekhov of Star Trek and Ashley Joanna Williams of Evil Dead, with a budget of $3.6 million, with this kind of backing and powerhouse actors. How could this movie be anything but fantastic? The name is, in fact, Moontrap. This is a robot horror movie. Killer robots. Now, back when I was a kid, killer robots were the thing, man. I mean, I loved robots. But I got to tell you, as I was watching this, it became very apparent to me that I have outgrown my love for robots, and I'm not sure why that is. I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I did not like this movie, and I'm probably going to land on a score of 2 out of 10. That seems low, and it is because this movie sucks, in my opinion. Now, I want you all to engage with me and give me your thoughts, because that's what I want. This whole thing is about hearing from you, engaging, having these stupid arguments that mean nothing, but it's just fun to talk about. Let's check out this trailer. I will be pausing and talking over it as per usual. By the way, thanks for watching and making it this far. If you make it to the end, send me a text and I'll blow you a kiss.
Ship composition unknown. Probable origin Earth's moon.
The crew of the space shuttle Camelot has just brought back a little present from the moon.
This voiceover guy's voice is really intense. I mean, it's creepy.
Organic remains human.
He's 14,000 years old.
Tissue reconstruction.
Doesn't this scream Life Force right now? It does to me. The massive, technological advancements in these computers that they're using to just be able to take one photo of something and be able to create a 3D rendering of it, that's amazing. I don't even know if we have that right now, but it's top notch, let me tell you.
And now it is free again. To seek.
There's something in the corridor.
To hunt.
Something huge.
This trailer, I'm like watching this trailer and I'm like, oh yeah, this movie is going to be fantastic. I mean, I'm digging it. It's like reaching out to that child inside of me saying, you're going to love this. It's got killer robots from space. What is there not to love?
Keep it together. Keep it together.
To kill. We want to establish contact.
Okay, I want to point out that guy who just said we want to establish contact. I don't know if you noticed, but standing right behind him is like this freaking firing squad. Keep that in mind.
Give us a sign.
So it shoots him in the arm. He turns around and he says, "Get that son of a bitch," or something along that line. He doesn't move at all. And the hallway that is just filled with like a SWAT team just starts firing. And this old man is just standing there, unfazed completely.
Get that son of a...
We got Chekhov doing Chekhov things.
Out of the darkness,
What the hell have we got here, Jason?
it called him to set it.
That had a bit of a Screamers vibe to it. Anybody? Screamers? There's another there. That's another killer robot movie I forgot about.
Free.
A base. And we're being invited in.
Argo team, do you read me?
Please respond.
She's alive.
I don't know, guys. What are you thinking? I'm looking at this and I'm like, again, I'm watching this and I'm like, this movie is got to be fantastic. And how could I be so wrong? How could a trailer make me feel like a movie's going to be so fantastic and yet the movie is so bad? You know what? I'm sure other people have brought it up, But the art of making a trailer is really amazing. Like there is an art to it. These people throw bits and pieces together to entice you to want to see the movie. And I swear, whoever put this together did a good job, because I'm ready to watch this movie again, but I already know that it's trash. So I don't know. For whoever did this trailer, fantastic. Fantastic.
Something's pulling me out of orbit. I'm going down.
Seems like they never learn.
In outer space, on the outer limits, one man from our time, one woman from another.
So this woman, she's like some ancient, spoilers, by the way, all spoilers. I don't really feel like I should have to say that, but some people get pissed off. I mean, the movie came out in 1989. This woman is an ancient astronaut, and she's been in cryogenic sleep for centuries. And they wake her up. She has an ancient spacesuit she puts on. She joins these guys. There's like, they don't speak the same language. One of the astronauts dies. They pop up some moon tent. They crawl in and they just get naked and start getting it on. Again, no communication. Maybe cryogenic sleep makes you horny. That might be it. Maybe I can get behind that reasoning, but it was just absurd. Yeah, the writer, the director, I don't know, producer, somebody is like, we need some boobies, so pop up a tent and get it on the surface of the moon. The audience is going to eat this up. Everybody fantasizes about having sex on the moon. I do not. Anyway, back to this.
We're in their ship. That's what we are. Spare parts.
Together, they must face the ultimate challenge. Moontrap, The Wait is Over. Starring Star Trek's Walter Koenig and Evil Dead's Bruce Campbell.
Now, honestly, I liked that artwork right at the end where it showed the astronaut suit and like the Earth in the back. And it just had this very great 80s horror vibe to it. As a kid, robots, if the movie had robots in it, oh my gosh, I needed to see it. Of course, I wasn't able to. As I've also mentioned in the past, I was raised in a Christian home, and I have received messages like, what does that have to do with anything? My parents let me watch all kinds of shit when I was a kid. Well, you probably had bad parents. Okay, I know I just triggered somebody there. My co-host Jake, he was also raised in a Christian home, and his dad was sharing horror movies with them as children. And I'm like, that is hideous. I don't know why you would do that. But the majority of my friends that were raised in that kind of Christian scenario, it was never happening. I mean, there were certain cartoons like He-Man. We were not allowed to watch He-Man. So we were in a very strict environment as far as what we could watch. So watching these kind of things was never going to happen. But I remember specifically seeing the cover for a movie called Robot Jocks, and I wanted to see it so bad, but it was like rated R or PG-13. I don't know. Anyway, it was well beyond the tolerance of what my parents would let me watch, but always had this fascination with robots. Obviously, Star Wars, played into that, because who didn't want R2-D2 to be their best friend? I mean, the little guy was so fun, but it obviously has died down within me. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the reality of knowing that those aren't real emotions. Those are just programs. Kind of makes you feel less inclined to love these robots the way that you perceive them as a child, having real emotions. And honestly, this opens up a bigger door with AI. Can computers have self-awareness? Can they be sentient? Do they have souls? That's interesting, and I have no idea how to answer that. It's a very frightening thought, in my opinion. But also, bring on the robot girlfriends. I'm ready. It's too difficult engaging with real people with personality, rubbing friction, people having trauma from their past, which does not affect other people, and they don't understand it, and you don't know how to explain it, and then that's kind of like, just get over it. Emotions are difficult. So like I say, bring on the robot girlfriends. I am ready. This movie didn't do it for me. I was not excited in any way whatsoever. And from the images that I saw, I thought I was going to enjoy this movie. Once again, I was pleasantly surprised when the movie started to find Bruce Campbell in it, because I didn't know that he was in it. But just like in Maniac Cop, I did not feel that it enhanced the movie. It didn't make me go, oh yeah, Bruce Campbell, this man is great. Though he did have a line that cracked me up and was then overused throughout the movie. It started off with him trying to get some coffee out of a vending machine, and it wasn't working, and he ends up like karate kicking it or something. He does some kind of like punching, kicking scenario, and it starts working. He drinks the coffee, turns around, looks at the group of guys that are with him, and he goes, "Don't take any shit from a machine." That plays out throughout the rest of the movie. It's somewhat clever and funny, but then I feel like, again, it got overused throughout the movie. However, it does seem like that is a perfect line for some 90s industrial band to sample and put in one of their songs. And speaking of industrial music, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. There was a band that I loved so much called Immortal that was industrial, a Christian band. A couple Filipino guys, Gyro and Jerome, headed this band up. And their first album was called Lucis. Second album called Fathom, which was my favorite. Then Wake. And then Mortal Presents Pura. Now, in between Fathom and Wake, there was a live album that was released, and that live album was fantastic. But Mortal Fathom was the first CD I had ever purchased. I worked with a guy named Greg Cronkite, who's 10 years older than me, and I was a high schooler working in the art department at a church, and he was introducing to me some fantastic music, like the 77s, Daniel Amos, which I spoke about previously, and Mortal. He copied his Mortal CD onto a cassette and gave it to me. I asked him to, but he was also told me that he didn't feel comfortable doing that because he felt like it was, taking money away from the band. I then went and purchased the CD, not having a CD player because I was poor and we didn't have fancy stuff like that. So I purchased the CD with the intention of eventually buying a CD player. And so I had that CD for a long time. Obviously, I had it unwrapped because I wanted to read all the liner notes and everything. See, physical media is so much better than this download crap. You young kids, you just don't understand what you are missing. Being able to read the thank yous and stuff, the little funny things hidden in there. Oh my gosh. Holding that, looking at the art, fantastic. Not just scrolling and flipping, having no attention span. Anyway, then there was this store called Venture. I don't even think it's around anymore. It was kind of like a Target. Had like a sale for a CD player. And it seemed like the greatest deal in the world. And I saved up my money and I went and I bought myself this CD player. And oh, it was magic listening to Mortal Fathom. Fantastic stuff. When I go back and re-listen to it, it feels a little dated for me. But at that time, it was great. And I have mentioned in the past going to a music festival called Cornerstone. The first year I went to Cornerstone, Mortal was supposed to be playing. my plans of getting to Cornerstone had fallen through. Then my dad stepped in, seeing the disappointment that my plans had fallen through, stepped up and took me. It then became a tradition for 18 years of us going every year to Cornerstone. But he couldn't just drop everything. He had to, plan. So I missed getting there the first day, and I missed seeing Mortal. And that was a massive bummer to me. Now, the thing about Mortal, headed, like I said, by Gyro and Jerome, they transitioned to a new band called Full Zandura. And because I loved Mortal so much, I still bought the Full Zandura stuff and followed them into their different career paths. Like Jerome, he played with the Supertones a couple times. And for a while, he did a few tours. I don't know how long he did that. And I had brought the Supertones in, so I got to meet Jerome there. I also saw Full Zandura several times, but again, not Mortal. Jerome also plays with Switchfoot, and I think he still does to this day. And Switchfoot is another band that I really appreciate. But then in 2000, some promoter in Chicago got a reunion show with Mortal. And also on that bill was Project 86. And Project 86 ended up becoming one of my favorite bands, who I brought to my area several times, more than half a dozen times, brought them in, and always enjoy their show. But things within the promotion world, things were getting weird. It was getting difficult. The whole, risk versus reward got way out of balance. I've talked about this before, and I just had to stop. Paying bands so many thousands of dollars and working so hard to get people to come to these shows, and then only like 50 kids showing up, and you not making back enough money, you still signing a contract and having to pay these bands, but enough people did not show up to even recoup your money. So it just got way out of balance, and I couldn't do it anymore. And I was working a 8 to 5 job on minimum wage, and it was just insanity to keep doing that. Anyway, I would suggest you can find Mortal on Spotify. I went to the show in Chicago. My friend, again, Greg Cronkright, who I was working with at that church, he took me to Chicago to see this Mortal show. And I bought a hoodie, so I have a hoodie that says Mortal 2000 on it. But it was a big freaking bummer. Project 86 did a fantastic job on that show, by the way. But Mortal, all they did was play like this weird kind of in between Mortal and Full Zandura stuff. I didn't get a full Mortal show. I wanted to see them perform some of the songs from Fathom, even something from their first album, Lucis or Wake, anything. But I didn't get any of that. I got this weird kind of in between Mortal and Full Zandura thing. So I was super bummed. Never got to see them perform in one of my favorite bands. If anything, this is so lame. I mean, if I really think about it and I had the opportunity to go back in time and do something, it would be so dumb to say, I want to go back in time and see a real life Mortal show. Because there are far more important things that could be done if I was given that opportunity. But I do regret never being able to see Mortal. And there's this story. It's a classic story from the Chicago area about a Mortal show. They were playing in a church, and it was a packed out show, and people were, jumping and getting into it. And the promoter, from what I understand, they were in the basement, and they said that they saw the floor was waving when they were looking at the ceiling, which was the floor up above where the concert was going on. The floor was waving, and they were like, oh my gosh, they had to go up there and settle people down. And they're like, guys, we're not sure that this floor can handle what is going on here, so you guys need to settle down. Somebody out there might know that story. I think the promotion company that threw that was Edan, Who knows? If somebody out there knows and is watching this and we connect through that, that would be amazing, but I highly doubt it. So sorry about that little tangent, but it felt at the moment, Moontrap, Don't Take No Shit from a Machine. It sounds like a perfect sample for an industrial band. I just had to bring that up. So I was disappointed by this movie. 2 out of 10. But it makes me question I used to love this. What other robot movies from the 80s do I still love? Can I still watch and be like, oh yeah, that's some cool stuff right there. I still love Terminator. I don't feel like that's garbage. Like there has been a time I've been thinking about watching Chopping Mall, which is also about killer robots. But after watching Moontrap, I'm just like, in how I responded to that, and I was just like, this seems so lame. Who cares? I'm not even sure I want to watch Chopping Mall now. But there are occasionally times when I see clips from Chopping Mall when this robot shoots a laser and this woman's head explodes, and I'm like, oh yeah, this seems fun. I gotta watch this. But then after watching Moontrap, I'm like, it's not really my thing. But I used to love RoboCop. It's been forever since I watched it. I'm curious if I watched it again, if I'd just be like, oh, this is so lame. I don't know. But I still watch Terminator. I love Terminator. Screamers was an okay movie. I would never watch that again. That was kind of a bummer of a movie. Let's see, what else? What was that giant robot movie by Guillermo del Toro? That was a good one. I enjoyed that. Pacific Rim. I hate all the Transformer movies. I felt that those movies ruined my childhood, in my opinion. What else? You guys out there, tell me, do you still love robot movies, or do you feel like you've grown out of it? What is your favorite killer robot movie? I want to hear it. If I haven't seen it, I'll try watching it. We can talk about it. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to find some people that loved Moontrap. Also, by the way, there is a sequel. It's called Moontrap Target Earth. Came out in 2017, so not that long ago. Does not look like Bruce Campbell is in this movie at all, but if anybody's interested, there you go. As you can see here from IMDb, the average score is 4.8, so it's a little bit higher than what I gave it. That is so close to a 5, and a 5 is really just an average movie. So keep that in mind. Here we go. We got an 8 out of 10. One of the best B movies. This isn't a classic by any means, but it is fun to watch. Has a very good sci-fi premise, the acting is good, and the cinematography is good. I really thought the special effects were outstanding for a small budget flick. The dialogue suffers a lot here and there, but is passable. While the movie itself doesn't make the A-list, there are 2 or 3 scenes are kind of classic and make the whole thing worthwhile. If you like the B flicks, then this one is a must. I would love to see a big budget remake. Grab some popcorn, load it up, and you'll be glad you did. Well, let me tell you, my friends, I was not glad that I did. But this person thought it was an 8 out of 10. So maybe you should give them your attention. Oh my gosh. When will there ever be a Moontrap 2 or Moontrap 1 revised? Didn't you hear? Moontrap Target Earth came out in 2017. When was this posted? 2006. My friend, you do not need to wait any longer. Moontrap Target Earth. Check it out. It says here, although the Romans already stated de gustibus non disputandum, I have no idea. I know I butchered that so bad. You cannot argue about taste. You know what? That's a good saying. I like this movie very much. Has a kind of atmosphere I am longing for in a sci-fi movie. a lot of mysteries. I don't know, maybe. We are fully kept in the dark about the origins of the moon base and the mysterious old spaceship which the space shuttle encounters in orbit, which, from what I remember, never even clarified. I don't think they were just like, we're just going to leave that a mystery the whole time. Even when the space chick finally learns English and starts talking, the most she says is, I feel like I don't belong here. And Chekhov is all like, babe, you belong here with me. And everything was good. We are fully kept in the dark about the origins of the moon base and the mysterious old spaceship which the space shuttle encounters in orbit, and presented as such in a way that my fantasy can jump with giant leaps during the entire movie. I even don't want to know where they came from. Well, congratulations, you don't. The human slashing is a bit overdone for my taste. The human slashing, I don't understand, is a bit overdone for my taste. But then again, it depends on what you are looking for, I guess. The special effects could be better, but they don't disturb me at all. As a matter of fact, they are indeed more accurate than in other comparable movies. Well, what do we have to compare this to? More accurate. Oh, you might be talking about the moon. Okay, I can give you that. I thought you were talking about these cyborgs. Like, when have we ever really encountered these things in real life that you could be like, it's more accurate? Oh, that's funny. At the time, it really was timed perfectly. A lot of conspiracy theories were posted about Apollo astronauts hiding secrets from us, secret alien moon bases, UFOs, etc., which made the film even more believable than normal. Really is the kind of movie which deserves a sequel. Like I said, you got it, Moon Base Target Earth. Maybe we can then get more insight into the origins of the unknown people, or even better, run into new mysteries. Of course, Walter Koenig, see, this is why I avoided saying his name and just keep calling him Krychek. No, Chekhov. Krychek. What? Krychek is from X-Files. Chekhov, sorry guys, is now a bit too old, but a serious remake of Moontrap followed by an equally serious sequel would make me very happy indeed. I like my little slip. I'm a big fan of X-Files, by the way. Yeah, I hated Krychek, that MFer. Always getting into anyway. Please leave a comment. Let me know what your favorite killer robot movie is. Let me know if you still love them or if you feel like you've outgrown them. I feel like I have, but I mentioned the ones that I still love. Terminator 2 will always be in my top 10. Though I have to admit that in a recent viewing, I do feel that the T-1000 does feel a little stiff now to me. And I did have a sense of like, wow, that's a bummer when I came to that realization. I am Judah. This is Creepin' It Real. We have been talking about the 1989 sci-fi horror known as Moontrap. Please let me know your thoughts. Or if you have any suggestions, leave those. I would appreciate it. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.